across Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. Here is where things stand now on Fox 5 Live. Viper to take you over in towards Metro Atlanta, particularly on the DeKalb-Gwinnett line. This is where our heaviest rainfall is now from Lilburn, just outside of Redan. That's trying to inch up towards the north and to the east, but it's not having a ton of luck in doing so, right? This is the last 30 minutes, and you haven't seen a whole lot of movement with this. A number of lightning strikes on the south side of Stone Mountain. I mean, obviously, Stone Mountain's a big piece of granite. That's probably collecting a number of the strikes, so it's just worth noting. And so that's our flash flood threat into the evening, right? You get showers and storms like that. Inside the perimeter, completely covered up with rain as the afternoon commute is beginning. Most of Cobb County, most of Douglas County, down in towards Clayton County. Pretty good shower there just south of Riverdale. Slide over off to the east to bring you over towards Morgan County, Walton County. A couple instances of storms out there, about 40 lightning strikes in that frame in the last 10 minutes. And there's some more where that came from up across northeast Georgia. And we are not done yet. Look back next door into Alabama, and you've got some more radar activity that's trying to inch in towards northern Georgia. Rainfall totals have been pretty up there in a handful of spots, others not so much, right? Anytime you get over that green color there, that's going to be about a ½ inch of rain, but notice you're starting to get some yellows in there. That is over 2 inches of rain. We're going to talk about the rest of the evening and how the work week ahead shapes up coming up here in just a few minutes. Christine?
All right, Alex, thank you so much. A DeKalb County police officer and a man are in the hospital after a police-involved shooting this morning along North Decatur Road. Investigators say it began as an investigation into a suspicious man. Fox 5's Ray Arena is live at the scene with what we know so far. Ray.
Christine, right now details are limited regarding the exact circumstances that led to shots being fired earlier this morning. Throughout most of the day, DeKalb County Police and the GBI were out here documenting the front of this vacant building as the investigation begins.
A row of evidence markers could be seen in front of this vacant building in DeKalb County hours after an officer-involved shooting. A witness who works nearby says she heard multiple gunshots at about 8:10 Monday morning.
What the heck? And then that's when I told the person I was on the phone, I said, I think I heard 3 shots. And then that's when I came in the building.
DeKalb County Police say officers were investigating a suspicious man at the time. They say during the encounter, the man stabbed an officer once. That officer then took out their weapon and shot the man.
It was loud enough for me to distinguish that it was a shot and not a car backfiring. So I looked to see if there was a car. There was no cars passing.
Medics rushed the man and the officer to the hospital. The man is listed as critical, while the officer is considered to be stable with what police describe as a moderate injury.
Police came immediately afterwards, so I wasn't concerned that it was coming towards us.
DeKalb County's police chief could be seen walking into the hospital to check on the officer. The witness says she normally sees an officer at the vacant building.
Every day, all times of the day. They either parked in front of the building or on the side on the street.
Fox 5 cameras captured a tow truck driving away with a DeKalb County police SUV. As is protocol, the GBI has taken over the investigation into this officer-involved shooting.
I just pray for both families.
And as of right now, we do not know the identities of the officer or the man who was shot. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Ray Arena, Fox 5 News.
All right, Ray, thank you for the latest there. The man accused in a shooting on a MARTA train during rush hour is now in police custody. Authorities spotted Anthony Tyrone Gresham walking along Lee Road in Douglas County Sunday morning. When a deputy approached him, he ran into the woods. A multi-federal, state, and local agency effort flushed him back out on Lee Street, where he was arrested. Gresham now faces aggravated assault and weapons charges. Yesterday, family members gathered to remember Margaret Swan. The 66-year-old grandmother was fatally stabbed on a MARTA train at the Oakland City Station last month. 25-year-old John Elijah Matthews sits in jail accused of the random killing. The shooting and fatal stabbing are in addition to another stabbing that happened late last month at the Georgia State MARTA station. That's where police say this man was stabbed several times, and authorities say this is the man they want to talk to for questioning. It's not clear whether that attack was provoked. Members of the Atlanta City Council are concerned following the recent string of violent attacks on MARTA today at City Hall. Councilwoman Andrea Boone questioned Atlanta's police chief Darren Schierbaum about the string of crimes that has garnered not only federal attention, but a lot of local concern. The timing comes just days before an estimated 300 to 500,000 people across the globe will converge on the city for the FIFA World Cup.
Whether it's on a college campus, a city park, or on the transit system, any act of violence is concerning to anybody. And so to make sure that we're working together to hold individuals accountable, I can tell you what information I know about those that have been arrested on the transit system. They are repeated appearances in the criminal justice system, and individuals that we would ask the courts to take note of when they're there, but that's just not the transit system, that's our own city streets, and that's in our colleges and universities in the city as well. So we're going to work with our partners to aggressively hold people accountable, deploy resources and conduct investigations so those that do cause harm in our city and our communities, that they are arrested and placed before a judge of this county.
MARTA says it takes safety very seriously. Officials have promised to beef up their number and tout 12,000 cameras in the city. A couple is dead after what police believe was likely a murder-suicide in Johns Creek. Police tell us a boy called them after an argument with his parents escalated into a shooting. Police went to the scene around 11:30 last night and found a man and woman dead. The couple was identified as Richard and Martha Holliday. The investigation is still early, but police believe Richard shot Martha in the head, then took his own life. Investigators say there were 3 children in the house at the time. Now to Gwinnett County, where a homicide investigation is underway. Police responded to a shooting call on the 2200 block of Pelican Drive in Norcross Friday night. Officers found Walter Caudle with multiple gunshot wounds. Medics rushed him to Northside Gwinnett Hospital, where he died. Officers spoke to multiple people at the scene. No arrest has been made. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers. You Decide 2026. Georgia voters will return to the polls today as early voting begins for a runoff election to cap off what has been a heated primary season. On the ballot, a closely watched race for governor. Former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms clinched the Democratic nomination back in May, but the Republican field requires a runoff election. Burt Jones and Rick Jackson finished at the top of the pack, but neither got more than 50% of the vote. Also on today's ballot, the Republican primary for U.S. Senate. Either Derek Dooley or Mike Collins will get the chance to face Democratic incumbent Jon Ossoff in November's general election. Election day for these runoff races is June 16th. Over the weekend, early voting started in several metro area counties. It was a heavy night of fire between Israel and Iran with the first major break in the ceasefire since April. Iranian missiles lit up the skies, and Israel's defense forces targeted ready-to-launch missile sites in central Iran. But after the quick skirmish, the fighting is apparently on hold for now as President Trump looks to get peace talks back on track.
I will say that because it looks to me like Israel picked up some very active Iranian radar-based air defense sites for the targeting, that this is a good move overall for our forces in the region. I think these strikes are going to put some additional pressure on Iran.
While Iran agreed to call off its attacks, Israel has still targeted the Iranian proxy group Hezbollah in Lebanon, which could make this renewed ceasefire short-lived. New at 4, reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley have filed a lawsuit against the former defense attorney in their federal case. In the suit filed Friday, the Chrisleys accused the attorney of legal malpractice, leading to their convictions and imprisonment. The Chrisleys were initially indicted in August 2019. In 2022, a Metro Atlanta jury convicted them on charges including bank fraud and tax evasion. Todd Chrisley was sentenced to serve 12 years in federal prison. Julie was sentenced to 7. Both were released last year after receiving a presidential pardon by President Trump. The Chrisleys are asking for a jury trial and are seeking compensatory damages in excess of $25 million, as well as compensation for their legal costs and attorney fees.